Okay, let's see if this one comes up a treat. This one's really colourful, or reasonably colourful. Right, let's see if I can make it look even better. Wonder how big we're going to make it. Going to leave it on 100 for now at least. Maybe we're going to make it more red so that the orange turns a red colour instead of being orange. And the hue, we're just going to cool it down a bit. So we're doing this as a positive image, but we're using hue red. And I don't think we're touching the brightness here. Okay, let's see what we have as our original. We have here, it's a hair elastic, I think. It's actually a hair elastic with a little bit of a wiggy sort of arrangement, little bits of synthetic hair. Something for a child, more likely for a child to wear than an adult. But I'm sure an adult would probably find it quite nice as well if they, being childlike, which is really something I encourage adults to be more like, a bit like children, not being immature like children, not childish, but childlike, and being creative and a lot more interesting than just being a boring adult who just does it. He just goes to work and has to look after their own children and shit like that. Why can't we have a bit of fun? And sometimes we can dress up just like children enjoy dressing up, Why does everything have to be so bland and so serious? I mean, seriousness doesn't mix with myself. I must say, I just get so bored of it. But, you're brought up to be serious. You're brought up to be grown up. But being grown up can be just so soul-destroying, It can be. Now, that looks really good. I think we can make that into a nice mirror image, and I think that's going to be the centrepiece. Or maybe not. Wondering if that's going to be the centrepiece. Yeah. But anyway, let's just print these off. But it's good to be a little bit childlike and have a bit of fun, Instead of just being constantly serious and worrying about things. Yeah. That's something I've been learning to do, is to try and be a little bit more childlike and more creative and less bogged down with grown-up issues, so to speak, because, it's not good for our health. It's not good for our mental health. It's not good for our physical health. You're more likely to end up with a stroke or a heart attack, which you don't want. You don't want to die of a stroke or a heart attack, and you certainly don't want to end up after having a stroke, having half your body unusable, because people with strokes often lose the ability to use one side of their body, and they have to do things with one hand. And I know someone at my job, my sheltered workshop job, who basically had a stroke, and it changed his life, and he has to do everything with his left hand. His right hand is rendered useless, and I just marvel at some of the things he's actually adapted himself to do with just one hand, and I think, fuck, I'd go mad. I wouldn't be able to do it. Trying to open a packet of a biscuit, like you get these biscuits, like Arnott's biscuits with a Scotch finger biscuit and a Nice biscuit, and we've got a problem with the original size recognition, and we're going to have to set that up manually. But basically, he manages to open up these biscuit packets with just one hand, and I just can't understand how the fuck he learned that. I mean, seriously, but but the best thing of the fact of the matter is, I'm sure he'd prefer it if he had the use of his right hand, just like he used to. But he's managed to adapt. But why should people have to adapt because they've had a stroke that was brought on by stress? As I just hear this scary statistic on the radio lately saying that one person in every 6 has a stroke. 1 person in every 6 people has a stroke. That's really scary. That's like how it's just like so many people. That's a lot of people. And yeah, and basically, yeah, we've got to somehow inject a bit of fun into our lives to hopefully have a therapeutic result, that we don't end up getting, that the statistics won't be like that, that there'll be less people coming down with a stroke, or, you know, getting a stroke, not coming down with one. You don't come down with a stroke like you come down with a cold, but you get my drift. It's just not right. So now that looks really quite nice. I still had problem with the curling. I think we can just keep it like that. I think now we can call it quits.